La 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 la. Well, I know what you want, baby. It's time for your makeover. Let's do it.
I love making over old pieces of furniture because it's always amazing to see how much of a difference and transformation you can bring into old pieces by just using a little bit of creativity and some basic tools. Hey YouTube family, welcome to my channel Decorate with Manas. How are you? Now I have this old stool which I got from my parents' house. It's a very stable stool, it's very sturdy, but the problem is that the top is kind of a little broken, kind of damaged and worn out. And especially this corner here, it's the beading is completely chipped off, so it's actually like dangerous. Someone's clothes can get stuck in this. So overall I think that the top lacks finishing, and I've been seeing a lot of reels on Instagram where people are using tiles to make over old pieces of furniture and they look absolutely beautiful. It's very easy to do, so I thought I'll try that technique to maybe make over this tool and convert it into a completely different piece. So subscribe to my channel and let's get started with the DIY makeover. Okay, so my plan is to basically cover the top of this stool with a printed tile, and I looked on Amazon and I could find a lot of beautiful, cute little 2x2 or 3x3 inches tiles. So I'm going to be ordering that. So first I'll measure this top and then I will measure the tile pieces accordingly. And then on the sides also I want to cover it with a thin small tile so that it kind of covers all this damaged beading.
So to start with, I basically measured the size of the table so that I could calculate how many tiles do I need to order from Amazon. Now my stool was 12 inches in width and almost 18 inches in length. The tile that I selected on Amazon is this beautiful rich blue with yellow accent style. It is 3 inches by 3 inches and I thought it would look extremely beautiful, so I ordered this accordingly. And the tiles have arrived, and look at these, they're so shiny, so cute, so colorful. And I've also ordered these yellow small tiles to cover the sides of the table, because the sides also need to be covered with tiles because they are in a very bad shape. And look at these almost mango colored tiny tiles. And the best part is these tiles are very affordable as well. I will add the links to this in the description box, so if you want to buy the same one, feel free to do so. Before sticking the tiles, I thought it would be a good idea to just remove all the broken beading and start with a fresh slate. This would just give a very even surface for the tiles to stick on the sides, and overall the table will look better. So I just quickly removed all the broken beading from the sides, which was very tiring. And it's always better to just keep cleaning the mess in between to reduce the chances of an injury. And this is how the table looks. I know right now it looks scary, but don't worry, we will cover this with our beautiful tiles.
So the tiles are here, and aren't they the cutest? Like, look at these tiny tiles, and they are exactly how they were in the photograph. So I'm extremely happy, and the next step is to basically lay these tiles on the tabletop and basically start the table makeover.
So I started with laying over all the tiles over my stool to just get an idea of how the design will look and how much the gap between the tiles will be. For my table size, I ordered 24 tiles and that fit the table perfectly.
So at this point, I have laid over the tiles over the stool and it looks pretty good. And the plan is to stick these tiny yellow tiles as a border on the sides. And the colors that I had selected while buying these things on Amazon, I wanted it to have a blue and yellow theme, and so I've bought these little ones which kind of go in the same theme and matches with the yellow that's there in the bigger tile. Okay, so now that I've laid out all the tiles on the stool and I'm happy with the spacing and placements, I'm going to stick the tiles one by one.
So here is some tile ASMR for you as well. So basically I just put the glue on the corners of the tiles and started putting them in place. After this, the process is very repetitive. Basically you have to do this for all the tiles while making sure that the alignments are right. Also, one more thing, this particular glue, which is called All Fix by Fevicol, it's very easy to work with. Like, it basically doesn't damage your skin and it takes time to set. So even if you've made a mistake, you can always correct it. It takes around 30-40 minutes to dry, which is a good time. It's not too quick, not too fast, but just enough to get the right kind of finish that you are looking for. It's only 50 rupees. It's a large tube and easily available on Amazon or the local stationery shops.
So now all the tiles are glued, and this glue takes some time to dry. So if you want to like adjust some things, you can. Like this side is now, it's not moving, it's stuck. But this side, because I just did it, I can still move it a little. See, I can just wiggle it around and adjust the position if I don't feel, if they don't look parallel or there's like a weird positioning, right? That can be adjusted. So now is the time to patiently wait for them to dry and then stick the rest of them on the sides, and then we will go to grouting.
See you soon, cutie. I just let it dry for like the rest of the day, and I decided to do the grouting the next day.
Okay, so it's the next day and all the tiles that we had glued are completely dried. They're pretty solid, they're in place, they're not moving at all, which is a good sign. So now we have to finish off the sides, and the plan is to use these small tiles, these small square yellow tiles, which we are going to stick on the sides and then fill up the empty spaces with grout. One more thing to note is that we could have also used a fresh wooden trim here, but then I'm pretty committed to this tiles idea, so I thought maybe on the sides as well I will use the tile. And I have never worked with a wooden trim, so I don't know how that works, how it's cut to shape. It's a new skill, so I thought the tile idea would be easier to work with. Also, I love the idea of how this deep yellow tile would complement the colors on the tiles as well. As you can see, it's predominantly blue, but then there are accents of yellow, and the sides being yellow would also add a pop of color and kind of a colorful border to this entire stool. So that would look good. Let's get started.
So I basically flipped this tool over and started doing the same process. Again, it's the same process that we did for the tiles on the top, but these tiny chotu tiles are much easier to work with. You just need a dollop or drop of glue and just put it in place and adjust the positioning so that they're in a straight line and you're good to go. Again, as always, you will find the link of all the items used in the description box. So do check it out if you want to buy these materials for your project. So after sticking the tiles and putting them in place, I kind of pressed them again once to kind of make sure they are secure in their place. And I repeated the same steps on all the 4 sides of this tool so that we have this nice yellow tiled border on all the 4 sides of this tool. And voila, this is how it looks at the moment.
So all the sides are done. The colors of the tile, it complements it perfectly, provides a contrasty border with some textures. So I just love it and I can't wait to finish it off. The glue is kind of drying, so I'll let it be. Okay, so now it has been 3-4 hours and the tiles have completely dried up and they are firmly in place. I can see that none of them are moving or shaking. They're all held up pretty well with the glue. And so now it's the time to do our final step, which is basically filling in these gaps that are there with the help of grout. And I'm just going to use some basic white cement. But the one thing that I'm going to do differently here is that I'm going to mix some color in the white cement. And I'm thinking of giving it a slightly yellow color, which will match with this color to kind of bring in some uniformity in the whole design. And instead of white boring tiles, which may make it look like a bathroom grout, it will look like a more designer piece, more well-designed piece. So yellow grouting, let's go.
So this is the basic white cement powder that we use, and I'm also taking some yellow chalk paint. The grout is very easily available in any hardware store or online. It's very inexpensive, and chalk paint also is available in any arts and crafts shop or available online as well on Amazon. Links will be in the description. So the grout powder, I'm adding water slowly because I do not want a very liquidy mixture. I want a pasty mixture. So I was very careful of not adding too much water. And once I was happy with the consistency of this paste, I added the yellow chalk paint to the mixture to give it a yellow tint. You can use acrylic paint as well. That would be fine too. Okay, now's the time to kind of fill in the gaps with this grout. The process is very easy, but it does require a bit of patience. Now all you have to do is take this paste and fill in the gaps. In this step, don't worry about the finishing, just focus on filling in the gaps, and we will add the finishing step later once the gaps are filled. I am using a wooden ice cream stick to kind of level the grout as I go, which was a really handy hack. Just plop it in the gaps and keep flattening it, that's all. Once all the gaps are filled, then you can start kind of leveling the grout again with the same ice cream stick or anything flat that you have. And we have to repeat the same steps on the sides as well. Now there will be a lot of fallout, so make sure you have a newspaper below this. I forgot to do this and I had to clean this later, so avoid this mistake that I made. Now again, here you can see that I'm using the same ice cream stick to kind of level out the grout on the side as well, and I'm doing this on all the sides. Okay, this step is also done, and I will leave it for around 10-15 minutes to kind of dry. So now this grouting has started to dry a little bit, and it's solidifying, it's retaining its shape. So now is a good time to kind of shape it. So while it's still soft, what I'm going to do is just, carefully just give it a shape and remove some of the extra. Also trying to smoothen this. As you can see, this is almost like butter, and I'll just repeat this movement to kind of keep smoothing it and removing excess and kind of giving it a shape. I won't worry about the grout sticking on the tiles, that we will clean later. Now, honestly, this was the most satisfying part of this project. Basically, just removing the excess, smoothing out, using the fingers very gently, and seeing my DIY baby kind of come to life was very exciting. I enjoyed this process a lot, especially this step. So I'm just taking a simple damp cloth and just moving it gently to remove the excess, and also, as you can see, it's also smoothing the grout. So I'll gently do this all over the stool to finish it, and I'll show you later. And while I was at it, I also removed some of the grout from these tiles, and look, the color kind of shine through from below once it's cleaned, and I'm extremely excited to see how the final look will come out. While I was at it, I also cleaned the grout sticking from the wooden part of the stool, just to clean it up. And voila, the stool is done. But we have to let it dry before we actually use it. OMG, look at this beauty. I mean, wow. Just looking like a wow. Can't believe I just made it. It almost has this vintage but yet contemporary vibe, which I'm so happy about. Okay, so now the fun part begins, and it's time to style this, and this is where I need your help also. So option 1 is basically placing this in front of my mirror, and then maybe keeping a decorative item or a vase or a plant on this to kind of highlight it in front of the mirror. So this is how it looks. Yeah, but it does hide the beauty of the tiles, but the plant kind of looks double in volume because the mirror is right behind it. Okay, this is option 2. Option 2 is basically using this as a small coffee table. So whenever guests come, we can basically serve tea or coffee on this. It looks pretty nice in this central area. And when the guests are gone, we can always keep it on the side. So that's option 2. Option 3 is basically in the entryway. Right now I have this chair to kind of sit and wear shoes. We can use this stool instead of that chair. Yeah, this is how it looks here. And here it also performs a very practical job. So do let me know in the comments which styling option did you like the most and why. Thank you. So this here is the finished product, and I love the way it has turned out. The finishing is amazing, it's solid, it looks good, and it's way better than I'd imagined it to be. So yeah, hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel because I keep sharing brand new home decor content on my channel. Also, I highly recommend for you to also try this
tiled makeover, because it's very easy to do. It will probably take one day, half a day, but it can completely transform a piece of furniture and make it almost new and vibrant. If you do make something of your own, please tag my Insta ID as well. It's Decorate with Manas, so that I get to know your beautiful creations as well. With that, I'll see you in my next video. Until then, bye.